when you was first coming in 2011 to 12, which I think was a dope era, especially for the way you came out, you was turning down deals.
Yeah, from 07 to the end, I was turning down deals.
A lot from big names too, though.
Yeah. I didn't do a deal with Jay, you know what I mean? And a lot of people ask me, do I regret not doing a deal with Jay-Z? No, I don't. But I always thought it would have been, because obviously Jay-Z is one of my favorite rappers ever. Turned down a deal with Atlantic, turned down a deal with Capitol, turned down a deal at, there was a couple places.
What about Def Jam?
Def Jam, turned down a deal at Def Jam.
It's crazy.
Not really. I mean, I think Def Jam is obviously one of the greatest labels, if not the greatest hip-hop label ever, that or Cash Money. But it's like, the more I know about music, especially today, I should have only been signed to Interscope or Aftermath or Capitol Records.
Just big names.
Well, just really West Coast names that really understand West Coast music. It's hard to be signed to these other companies that's trying to kind of, I don't know if the right word is subsidize, but like they trying to like make an adjustment to what's going on here, but they can't feel the pulse of the streets. Like, it's really important that rappers get with producers. You know what I mean?
I noticed that, like, that's a big thing with you, like, producers.
Man.
Like, yeah.
It all hip hop is all DJ producers.
Yeah.
It's all DJ producers, bro. It ain't rappers be talking about rappers putting rappers on. Man, these niggas can't do nothing but rap on a song that they can't produce.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? All major labels is built off producers. You know what I'm saying?
Music.
Like the greatest labels, Cash Money is built off Manny Fresh. Death Row is built off Dr. Dre. Ruthless is built off Dr. Dre.
You think Cash Money is the greatest label ever?
That or Def Jam. Def Jam is built off Rick Rubin early on.
Yeah.
So
are you partial because you was with Cash Money by saying that?
No. I mean, if you think of Cash Money records from 2000, probably, what is that? 1998? Well, I mean, they hit the scene 1998, 5 million sold.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? In 2008, they sold 1 million first week on Lil Wayne, and right now they got Drake and Nicki Minaj.
Yeah.
Pretty fucking triumphant, girl.
I ain't arguing. Okay, but look, with turning down the deals, like with Jay-Z, with Def Jam, with all these, you're saying that in hindsight, the main thing that you was getting away from was, well, basically you wanted to always represent the West Coast properly, musically.
That wasn't what, that's not at that time. Okay. At that time, it wasn't that. At that time, it just wasn't enough money. Like Jay-Z was, shout out to Jay Brown, he probably cussed me out, but it was like 50,000 short. It wasn't like at that time, they was offering me down there close to $1 million, like $700,000 on the advance. I mean, Jay-Z was around 300,000. The Rockefeller Def Jam deal was like 300,000. And I told them just take it to 350. They didn't have to match the whole 750 at Sony. You know what I mean? Just get me to 350, at least, you know, so I could do the stuff I wanted to do. And they just wouldn't come up that 50,000. And they probably was right because I didn't know nothing about hip hop, but I mean, I was a hell of a cultural brand at that point.
Facts. So definitely the production and the business. How much was you looking for though? Because you knew you had a lot of people. What was your number?
I ain't really had no number at that point because I didn't, all that fluff, I never listened to all that fluff, millions of dollars and shit these niggas be lying about. I never really listened to that. They set all the value as people started competing. You know what I mean? They set the value. Like I knew Sony's deal was way out of pocket, like a $1.7 million deal where you get $750,000 as an advance and $750,000 on the album budget, and then $200,000 as a accessible marketing street budget that was, you know, for me. That was incredible, but I didn't think that was going to be normal amongst Atlantic Records or Def Jam Rockefeller. I just knew at that time that company specifically wanted the market share of Glasses Malone. Like, and I couldn't turn down that kind of money, you know, for nothing. But I did want to do the deal with Jay-Z. Literally $350,000, I would have did the deal with Jay-Z at that time. I just couldn't do it for $300,000.
Yeah.
Like I needed more money than that at that time.
For sure. Okay. I want to go back to when you was talking about, you know, how it was in the mixtape era when you was paying these money for all these beats or whatever. You know, back even when you said that, it stuck in my head, and even just listening to other interviews and knowing your music, how important the production is.
Yeah, I didn't know that at first though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I didn't know how important DJing and producing was in hip hop. I didn't realize that that is the genesis of it all. That's how the art initially was displayed. It was music created for people to break to.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Rap
Like,
and break to, yeah.
you definitely don't know that as no motherfucking Crip from Watts. You know what I mean? If you ain't doing your homework or you don't grow up in hip hop, you know, as far as being a rapper. Like, if I read the credits in some, you know, album shits, but I didn't really know what I know about hip hop now. So now I understand why the Jay-Z deal wouldn't have worked. I understand why the Sony deal didn't work. I understand why different deals don't work. If you don't respect making records, you know what I'm saying, then it ain't gonna work out for you. And that's what happened with Cash Money, and that's why I refuse to let Birdman like take the blame for what happened with my career, or the reason, or let him be blamed, or Mac 10 be blamed for my career not being the greatest thing in the world. It's like, if I would have knew about making records, if I would have gave my all to learning about this like I did about making Sherm, like I know how to make PCP, but I don't know how to make a record.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? So I didn't deserve even what I got now.
For sure. Okay, but where you at now? Do you feel like with the business you in a good spot now?
I'm in the best spot I've ever been in my life.
Okay. Is it true that you are still signed to Cash Money through Hoo-Bangin?
No, my deal ended in 2016.
Okay.
But it was the whole time though.
Yeah.
It was there the whole time.
Man, sure. So with these songs that you was even going back from the mixtape era, you own all your masters to all your work?
Everything except Beach Cruiser. Beach Cruiser, I own half of it. The management company, Suburban Noise, that I was with, they distributed the project. So they own 50% of it. But I had that in about 36 months.
Okay.
But I own everything except Certified, Haters, Sun Come Up, I Get Dough.
Even all the mixtape shit too?
Everything, yeah. I own all of that stuff.
Man, streaming good then.
I mean, if streaming could be good, I don't know if streaming.
Yeah, streaming is fucked up.
I mean, listen, I really think streaming should be, I don't think streaming is a horrible part of the business, because I think streaming should be an added revenue to selling music. I think you have to sell music. If you're in the music business, cuz, you gotta sell music.
Yeah. And the one thing with the streaming too, it's like too much of the information is concealed. You know what I'm saying? It's too hard to actually like really tell, put a unit on the shit. Like, you know what I mean?
I mean, I don't even know. I wouldn't even know where to begin to start to talk shit about streaming. I don't really have nothing bad to say about streaming. I know that's the general consensus amongst rappers, talking bad about streaming, but I don't even know. I wouldn't even talk bad about it. I just think that business model is what it is.
It only benefits the parent companies, the large companies.
I don't even know, because I don't know what nobody making. I just know that if you in the music business or in the record business, you better be selling your shit.
But
now, ironically, I look at streaming more like me promoting myself through Spotify. I look at streaming like me promoting myself through Spotify, like Instagram.
yeah.
You know what I mean? And they just happen to pay me for promoting myself through it. I don't think it's supposed to be the most major stream of a music business revenue.
Yeah. It's just an opportunity to
promote yourself through Spotify.
Yeah, I was talking to a friend of mine, Aldi 300, a rapper from Texas.
Yeah, I know that is. Shout out to God.
We had a conversation about a week ago, and he was like, basically, fuck the streams, fuck the views. It's just a chance to really get your business on, you know, in a physical sense. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, everything is all marketing to sell music. You have to sell music, especially as an independent. You know what I mean? A true independent, not like you signed to an independent company, but like if you spending your money, like I drove here myself. I spent whatever to put out my album. I did it. I paid for it myself. When I go on my press run, when I'm in New York and you see me on the Breakfast Club, I pay for that myself. Yeah. I paid for that flight. I paid for that Airbnb. I paid for that rental car. When I go to Atlanta, I pay for the Airbnb, the rental car. A lot of it I'm scheduling the interviews, you know what I mean, just based off being a solid nigga and maintaining quality relationships for years. So, you know what I mean, you cannot just depend on streaming music. Like, I think that's an important revenue, but I don't think it should be the most major, and I stand by that.
For sure. And you don't really particularly have a set view on whether it's fair or not.
Yeah, because I don't know. I don't really know how it works. It's interesting that $10 is supposed to pay millions of artists.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I wouldn't even know where to start. But, you know, shout out to the rappers who talk about it because I guess they know. I don't know. So I just know that shouldn't be the major part. That shouldn't be the most important, you know, income in your, you know, stream of income in your fold as far as independent music business.
Max. You know, they say some cats is getting some bread off it, but it's real tricky, man.
I mean, I would imagine whoever has the majority of the market share, they're going to get more money than the average person is. Yeah. But I mean, look, it's like when I advertise my album, Cancel These Nuts, right? It's been 2 months. I don't advertise Spotify. Spotify don't need me to advertise Spotify. Spotify would have to pay me to advertise Spotify. But that don't mean my album ain't on Spotify. But I advertise where I sell my music at, thecripstore.com.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I sell music. Shout out to Jay Prince. Shout out to the niggas who laid the foundation for hip hop and understanding we need to sell music. So I sell music.
Yeah, shit.